Hi. So, you know how I am always talking about your emotions. Well, this past fortnight, my emotions have had a riotous party. So today, I'm going to talk about my own emotions, which, to be frank with you, brings up some emotions for me, like vulnerability and like curiosity about how that will be for me. So let me start at the beginning. 2 weeks ago, we finished the last live session of Parent Like a Leader, Raise the Future. And I was so proud, so thrilled, so relieved. Like, launching that course definitely took way more out of me than I realized, but it also filled me up more than I expected. And I felt pride, relief, accomplishment, gratitude. The next morning, I skipped off to Denmark for 4 days with one of my oldest, bestest friends. Sea air, bicycle rides, deep chats by the fire. You know, the kind that reset your whole nervous system. I felt a lot of joy, a lot of connection, lightness, contentment. And then, when I landed at Stansted and my daughter picked me up, my daughter who'd been cat sitting, and she told me that the cat was missing. Our little cat, our little small cat that we are all very, very fond of, had been missing not for one night, not for 2 nights, but for 4 nights. So a lot of catastrophizing and what-ifing, you know, what if she's been shut in a shed until spring? So there were feelings of worry, of helplessness, of fear, tenderness. At the same time, it was crunch week for buying a new car. And this had been on the cards for a long time, but this was the week that I was actually going to do the deed. And we are talking my first electric vehicle, the newest cars I'd ever in my life bought, the first time I've bought a car from a garage, and a huge leap from climbing into my old car through the boot when the frost froze the front doors. So going from Stone Age, if you like, to piloting what feels like a space rocket. And a beautiful, really helpful salesman who was very patient, but still a salesman. So was I being had? I felt overwhelmed. I felt uncertainty. I felt frustration. I felt bafflement and inadequacy and doubt about my decision making. And then to top the week off, out of the blue on Friday, I had an email from ITV Anglia wanting to interview me for the evening news on my opinion on emotionally based school avoidance and robots. And I felt a lot of excitement in that. And so roll on Monday, and there I was at 3 minutes to 6, watching the news with my heart in my throat, and my segment appeared. It was short, it was sharp, and then it was over and it was done. And I felt deflated. My daughter, on the other hand, who actually works in advertising and marketing, she was jumping up and down with excitement for me. And I joined in with her in that excitement because I felt I should. But inside of me, I was thinking, oh, they cut most of it. So excitement and disappointment all at the same time. And here's the point. Every one of those feelings, the pride, the joy, the fear, the overwhelm, the disappointment, they show up in us like children. They are illogical, they are loud, they are demanding of our attention. And that is exactly what our emotions and our teenagers' emotions, our children's emotions, that's what they need from us. They don't need judgment. They don't need suppression. They just need attention, appropriate attention. And when I tended to that deflated feeling in myself, my thinking brain came back online and said, hey, it's still incredible that you were on the news, that they contacted you out of the blue. You know, that's the story. And so with that little bit of self-compassion and perspective, I changed my opinion of that. Now, my opinion that they did edit down, my opinion on replacing a child's presence in the classroom with a robot, well, you know, I think it could work for a child with an illness that causes them to miss a lot of school. But for emotionally based school absence, we have to help our children first understand their own feelings of anxiety, of fragility, of fear, and then we have to equip them, we have to give them the tools to process those feelings, because that is how they will expand their capacity to be, not just in school, but the rest of their lives in the real world. That has to happen. And if you'd like to know more about my approach to that and my 7 pillars of empowered parenting, there's a blog on that just out. You can either sign up in the link for Inga's Insights, or you can go to my website and learn more, much more, about emotions education. And hey, if me being on a high horse on emotions education had a feeling, what emotion would that be? Comment below in the comments. But remember, treat your emotions like a small child. Listen to it, see it, process it if needed, but don't send it away. And that's it for me this week. I'll see you on the other side.